Just a quick question on the Patarak I'm reading. The title is Women.
I heard is women, but I didn't hear the
Yes.
first
So
part.
the
What's the name of the part of that?
yes, yes. The Earth is
Oh, Earth is woman. Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Go
So
ahead.
there's
I'm just gonna grab it.
verses. I'm sure it should be verse 7 or so, where it says, "This man, the Homo simian, Homo can mixed with the, and she lost her divinity."
Sorry, I'm trying to find it
So
as
my
you speak.
question,
Yeah, go ahead. You
so
can
my
ask a
question
question. I'm
was,
just trying to find it while you speak. Yeah, if I have it.
Which one is it?
Planet Earth is woman. Go ahead. What's your question?
yeah. So my question, who was the mixing with these men make the woman to lose her divinity, genetic or spiritual level? Like what really made her lose her
What? Okay, I
divinity
got
by
the question. So the
mixing her
question is,
DNA?
what made the woman lose her divinity? I'm sure I got it.
Yes, 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 yes.
Right. The woman made herself lose her divinity because she submitted to the to her own creation being man. So it's like today, right? A lot of women are far smarter than men, regardless of men's ego or how they want to accept it. But when you're looking at a female, she has an XX chromosome, and
Yeah.
and the woman, and oh, I found it, and the woman, I mean, sorry, and the man only has an XY, and you can do any studies that will tell you that men or women are far more intelligent than men, and even just her composition in the fact that if you look at the XX chromosomes, the X is far bigger than the Y, and the genetic material is actually more than the male. The woman has many parts to her body. She actually gives birth and produces both male and female. And she has mammary glands, which, she uses for like breastfeeding and so forth.
The children.
Right. And men have them,
Yeah.
but they don't use them. So there are many parts of us that we don't utilize. So, in terms of how she lost her divinity, what verse did you say it was on that you were looking?
Yeah. Verse, I think
15.
verse 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yes, if I'm
And
not
in those days,
verse
many
7.
mortal women called feminine were tempted by the strength and wildness of this Homo canine human simian full of muscles, right? So, like I said, because the woman saw the muscular nature of the male, right? She started to subdue herself, right? It says 8, they were called masculine, and Panatharu looked on as these interactions sexually between the feminine and the masculine, and they birthed a kind of man, mankind, man's kind, and man's kin. And then it goes on, but if you go to verse 14, it says she lost her divine powers, right? And insight because her,
It's reconnecting.
hers was the responsibility to reject the human beast. So if you read the whole of this part of that, it actually explains that the woman, when she subdues herself under a male, that's how she lost her divinity, because she then forgot and lost, and lost how she was able to procreate by herself without the intervention of a male, because the woman was able to reproduce without male because she secreted the fluids, right, into herself. And you can research what we call neurogenesis, parthenogenesis. It's gone, right. If you're dealing with the bulbar gland and asexual reproductions, this is like when you have eggs and they can separate. You can have single cells that divide and so on and so forth. So to answer your question, the woman lost her divinity because she fell in love with her creation to the point where she then got subjugated and suppressed. And that's why even till this day, when you look at the religious world, the men are always put first and they suppress or put the woman, in the background or cover her up or, make her like subservient to the male. But as we've come into this new cycle, she's regaining her divinity and coming back into her rightful place, as they say, tribal leader. And if you notice, it was when Parnabab Yanun came and started to teach about the woman is God, right? There's an actual fact called, this is actual fact number 19. Incidentally, the number 19, right? One of the highest numbers in spirituality, right? So it's called, who is God, female or male? And in this, it goes into more detail about the female obviously being, the divine feminine. And let's not get it twisted. Not every feminine is, even though loosely we can say they're sacred because they're the ones that give birth to both male and female, but we're really talking about, when you're saying the sacred feminine, you're talking about a being that has been groomed and has has not lost her virginity and is brought up in a particular way and has that nine mind. Okay, so this actual fact and that part around the planet Earth as woman goes into the details of, as I was saying here, look, you can see that the XY chromosomes and the mathematics behind that. But yeah, to answer your question again, simply, she lost her divinity because she basically fell in love with her creation being man, and till this day was suppressed by man, but she's coming back into her power. And it was Parnabab Yanun that started to, teach us and teach the woman about, her power, being the divine feminine. So let me just read a little bit from verse 67. So it was told to Zazaz, man, to join unto his Zazaz tat woman and become one with her. 68. This happens as you exchange body fluids. 69. The word is physical, non-emotional, or become two as one, as is Hamat, husband, and Hamat tat, wife. 70. It states that the man is to become one, jasad, flesh, with her. Why not the other way around? Because she is the goddess. 71. Zazaz, man came out of her, jasad, flesh, and Daman, blood. And once he submits to her, he becomes Gadad, God. Or she is the mother of God, as they teach about Mary and Jesus. 72. The female knows she exists and brings all others into existence. 73. She is the sight of all, the sight of the triple darkness in her raham, womb. 74. So this is the point I really want to make. When you try to overpower the woman or your woman, consort, wife, mate, and force her into submission, the God in her dies. Once she loves a man more than her own self, the God in her dies. 75. Once she is enslaved by her man, the God in her dies, and her man loses interest, he moves on. You see, so it goes on to explain that, the reason how she suppresses herself, because she basically gives her divinity to the man.